La 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 la. Whew, this shit over. Good afternoon. Ooh, good afternoon, everyone. I do apologize. I'm actually 2 minutes late. Um, yes, I apologize. I'm 2 minutes late. I try my best to be time prompt. So, anyway, welcome to Say It Larry J. Come in, have a seat, make yourself at home. Whew, let's get, we're gonna stretch. We're gonna stretch. Make yourself at home. Grab you something to sip on, whatever preference may be your choice. Um, whatever preference may be your choice, whatever you like to drink. So today, make sure that you hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button and that little bell that lets you know when I'm coming live each and every day. So I come live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, which tomorrow is Friday, Fun Day Friday. And I will be live tomorrow. So make sure you hit that like button, that share button, so you know when I'm coming live. Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great Thursday. We are barking in to Friday. So many of us, we're excited because it's Friday. And so from Tuesday, we left off with talking about branding yourself and introing into the resume piece. So today we're actually going to be talking a little bit more about branding yourself, and I'm going to continue on with branding yourself, and I am going to actually walk over into the resume part two, which would be talking about the building the executive summary, or some people would note it as the summary. Branding yourself, how people look at you, how you actually brand yourself, especially in the workplace if you're starting out your business. Um, Mostly when people think about branding yourself, from Tuesday, I talked about Chick-fil-A, how Chick-fil-A have a great brand, how they actually their brand is known across the board when it comes to branding themselves on their phenomenal customer service and their service of how they actually treat their customers when they come to their restaurants. Not just one, not just two, all of their restaurants, no matter the demographic their restaurant is in. So branding themselves is a part. Now, we look at Chick-fil-A branding themselves as their name and they're out there but for their customer service. But when people go to Chick-fil-A, they have to train the people internally. They train them internally of their expectations of how they want to be perceived when people come into their restaurant. And that's where I toggle in. For us to actually brand ourselves, we have to actually be trained internally. So therefore, we have to look within ourselves. And that takes more than just looking within ourselves, because many times as people, we look at other people through a magnifying glass, but we look at ourselves with rose petal glasses. Ooh, so pretty, so pretty. I'm so pretty. I'm pretty. But when we look at other people, we look at other people through a sharp, fine-tuned magnifying glass. And I don't know if any, well, back in the day, they used to have like those big old magnifying glasses, and they were very thick. So, because you could see things with your eye, but when you picked up that magnifying glass, it would blow it up. And you like, wow, I didn't know that was there. That's how we look at other people. But when coming to branding ourselves and working on ourselves internally, we would have to look at ourselves that way, but we don't like to look at ourselves that way because we don't like to deal with ourselves. Some of us say we do self evaluation. Do we really? Or I will use myself for example. I had stepped into a management role a few years ago. And so I wanted to improve on my management skills. I want to improve on how to be a better leader to my associates. So what I did in a wonderful meeting, I told the associates, okay, I'll be doing evaluations because I always did evaluations every Friday with my associates. So I said, with each associate, I said, I want you, for me to be a better leader, for me to be a better manager, I want you to tell me some things about me that I can do to improve. What did I say that for? What did I say that for? Whew. The things that I got that I was told, you don't know what the hell you're doing. Yeah, I said it. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You act like you slow. Is something wrong with you? Do you really, you don't move fast enough? You don't move with a sense of urgency? I mean, you stand there, but at the same time, they told me some things of how I can develop in my role. Like maybe you need to take some leadership courses because you can't do anything with none of us. You walk around here, you act like you lost. Uh, huh? Uh, uh-huh. No. Like, no, you got to be precise in what you're saying. When you make decisions, you all over the place with decisions. I don't know. Should I do it? When, who, where, why? No. For you to be our leader, we need for you to develop and be better. Now, as time progressed, I took these things and the what happens. When you ask people to tell you the truth about you, don't get mad because you said you wanted to develop. It takes development internally so you can improve your brand externally. Like how Chick fil A. When people see Chick fil A externally, that's because they're constantly improving and self improving their brand internally, which starts with their associates. I feel like my mouth is dry, like water, water. So how do you self develop? When you self develop, you have to be aware when people start telling you, especially if you had 8 jobs and you've gotten fired from them for customer service because your attitude suck. Okay, you may want to consider when you working in customer service and you standing there in front of people, how may I help you? Is that all you want? Look at the face. Look at the face. Do that face look like it's saying, I want to be here? Do that face look like it's welcoming to a customer that comes in? No. Self develop. Also, self developing is where you say, if I really want to develop, I may want to seek out counseling. And just in case for some of us, counseling is not for crazy people. Counseling also for self developing because your counselor will take you into, because you got counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, psychologists, I think. Yeah. So you want to develop in these areas, and they will tell you things that you thought you was developing in. A counselor would tell you where you're not developing. Because first of all, that's what they went to school for. And many counselors, they have a counselor. They got to stay on the norm. I mean, you can't be counseling me and you a quack, which some of them have been. But counseling will help you self develop. Like for myself, I go to a counselor every now and then. It's not because I'm cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. No, I'm not crazy. They help you develop in those areas because when you are dealing with people and you know you want to brand yourself and you want to be a polished brand, you want to self develop. And I don't just go to counseling, I pray. And for those of you who have a question of who I pray to God, Jesus Christ, who's the head of my life. Now, I don't sit up here and say, well, you should pray, but that's what I pray. And he helps me, he guides me and reveals truth to me. Sometimes that truth can also be through my counselor. That's why if some of you get in a relationship and you mention something about, well, have you considered counseling? No, I don't need no counselor. What I need a counselor for? Run for your life. Run first. Run first. Run. That's what you might want to do. If someone say they don't need no counselor, they are crazy as run for your life. Because what's going to happen? You get in that relationship, you're going to find out how much that counselor they really need. Did he really say that? Did he really say that? He did. I did. So these are the things, just some tools when it comes to developing yourself, branding yourself, being self-conscious, self-aware, meaning I wouldn't do to you what I wouldn't want done to me. And this actually, speaking of self-aware branding, this toggles over into your executive summary part. Now, who is this? Anyway, I'm live. What are these people talking about? This goes into your executive summary part with building your resume. Think about it. Executive summary. This is a summary on the part of your resume, because we still talking about branding. That executive summary part also is a part of your branding as well. The executive summary part of the resume, usually if you go to Google and you Google resumes, usually it is simply a summary of things about yourself to catch the reader, which would be the recruiter or the manager position. For example, if I am going for a higher manager role, some things I would include in there. Your executive summary sometimes would be between 5 to 8 sentences. You do not want to write a whole page about your executive summary because that's going to be most of your resume, a whole page actually. You want to include 5 to 6, 7, 8, 9 sentences. But in these sentences, you want to make sure you are compiling important things about what you did. Since you were going for a higher manager role, for example, you want to include from your past roles that you have probably been in, you want to include in your supervisor role how you helped improve in the department the cost, how you saved on costs, how you saved the company money, and how you improve customer delight. You want to, when I say customer delight, when you talk about it, you want to talk about how your numbers went from, you increased them 50%, you increased them 60%. And you also want to include in there, because of this right here, the phenomenal change, the phenomenal growth that I caused within this department, my manager tapped me on the shoulder and say, hey, we have a higher manager role that we want to place you in because we need you in this department to improve our customer delight numbers, to improve our numbers over here because our budget is spinning out of control. And you want to give a glimpse of what that budget looked like in your executive summary and why you was promoted from supervisor to a manager one position. Then you also want to talk about in that manager one position how you was given a larger growth, a larger budget, and how you turned those numbers around, which migrated and caused you to fall up in a manager two or a senior manager position. Because the manager position you more than likely are going for is a director position. We just say that in the executive summary. And so your executive summary is talking about, and it is speaking to the recruiter, hey, this is what I did when I was in this department. I turned around this department with its numbers. I turned around this department by saving the company money. I turned around this department by improving the customer delight numbers. And because of that, and my manager saw that I was doing so well, my manager decided to promote me to a manager one position. So my manager gave me a bigger budget. I had bigger staff that I had to manage. So I went in that department. I turned around these numbers, and this was the budget that I was given. I was over supervisors as well. You want to talk about how you growed the department as well, how you kept retention down, which shows leadership abilities, how you know how to lead. So therefore, this is why you applying, and this is why you know you have what it takes to do this director position, because a lot of the things that you are looking to do are highlighted in your skill set and the director position that you're actually looking to acquire. That's what your executive summary would consist of. If you are, for example, you're looking to be a teacher, and I'm utilizing teacher, you will utilize the skills in your executive summary of how you taught students and how the parents were so proud of you. They referred other students, and you actually end up doing a tutoring program. You also led a tutoring group. From there, you was actually launched over or in another classroom where you helped students with their skill sets with reading and math, and you wasn't a teacher yet, but you went into the role as a paraprofessional. And then you talk about utilize some skills on how you actually utilize some teaching skills. So when you're acquiring that teacher position, and when they look at that executive summary, it's speaking volumes of, okay, he have been doing teaching material, tutor. He have tutored groups. He have been over groups, even over tutors. He's been placed into a classroom. He done the paraprofessional role. So that is an example of actually an executive summary. So I hope these tools actually were great for you. And again, if you want to see how to do an executive summary, or what is called known as a summary, you can also Google a resume, professional resume, basic resume, and it will speak to you. You'll see some executive summaries, or summaries, should I say, they're both the same. See them with a few sentences in them, and it will give you a idea of how to create an executive summary for your resume. So again, this is your resume part 2 building. We will be getting into the part 3 building of the resume, and that will include your educational skill set and your professional experience, what it should entail, what it should look like, and things that you do not do in your resume. Don't do it, because these things will get you an email such as, you have a wonderful skill set, but unfortunately, we decided to go with other candidates whose skill set highly matched the qualifications. So until then, in concluding, I hope you enjoyed this live. I hope this live motivated you, inspired you, and empowered many of you. And I will see you tomorrow on Funday, Friday. So I hope you enjoy the rest of this night. Again, I come on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Make sure you hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button, and that little bell, so you'll know when I actually come on live. So until next time, or should I say until tomorrow, You have a great night. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this show. Have a good night.